Hi, I'm Médéric. I'm Director of Outbound Product Management for WSD at ServiceNow. And I'll be the main presenter today to show you the possibilities with WSD and the new workplace indoor mapping application. So the purpose of this meeting is to introduce you workplace indoor mapping and especially what employees can, how employees can take advantage of indoor mapping when using WSD on a daily basis. As usual, we have a safe harbor notice. So this presentation contains forward-looking statements, and we have to show you this notice before starting the meeting. So before starting, I just want to introduce my colleagues. First, Elizabeth.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elizabeth from the WSD team. I'm working on the outbound product management side of things, and I'm pleased to have you all join today's webinar. I can pass over to Gaurav.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Gaurav Dimanji from the Employee Workflows WSD Product Success team. Happy to have you all this morning.
Just a few rules. Please stay on mute. There will be a Q&A after the presentation, but if you have questions, please use the chat. If you have a question, feel free to introduce yourself to tell us more about who you are. And don't forget, the session will be recorded, and it will be possible to review it after the session. And there will be a short survey to collect your feedback after the meeting. So the topic of this meeting is the following. First, we want to help you understand how indoor mapping can be used within WSD. It's a brand new model available since the May store release, and indoor mapping basically extends existing features. It also adds a brand new feature, which is wayfinding, but you can also extend existing features such as a reservation, for instance, or raising an inquiry. So you can use the map from different features of WSD, and the purpose of this meeting is to show you how to do it. And we will do that from the employee portal, which is the main entry point of WSD. And we will show you different examples about how to take advantage of those features from the employee portal. But the employee portal is not the only channel to use the map. It's also possible to do it from the mobile application. And we will show you how to use the map from the ServiceNow mobile application from an employee perspective. Then we will go back to the studio. 2 months ago, there was another session about how to import your floor plans using the Map Studio. And we'll go back to the Map Studio to see how to configure the map you already imported in the previous session and how to synchronize the map with WSD and the spaces you have. Then we will show you the available resources you can use to do your project, and then we will finish with a Q&A session. What we will not cover today. Before acquiring MapWise, last year, ServiceNow had a partnership with another company called MapTeam, and this session is not about how to migrate your MapTeam maps. So if you have specific questions about that, we can do that, but outside of this session. That's not the topic. We already have a large scope for this session. Before starting, I propose to run a poll. just to know what's the status of indoor mapping on your project. So you probably see a poll window on your screen. Please answer the questions, which is, have you started using the indoor mapping application yet? So that's interesting. As I said, indoor mapping is available since the May release, so it's a brand new application within the WSD suite. Okay, so I understand that 25% of the attendees already started using indoor mapping. So then we have a second question, which is about the mobile application, and we'd like to know if you started to use the mobile application with WSD.
I'm curious, seeing these answers in the poll, can maybe some of you, if you've said yes to the first question, meaning that you're currently looking into or either have started using indoor mapping, are you part of the people here that have mentioned yes, you're looking into the mobile application, or yes, you have started using a mobile application for indoor mapping, or are you using it for different features? I'm curious about this. Please share any of that information in the chat if you'd like to share that information with us.
Okay, thank you for answering. So I propose to start the demo. So we start with the employee portal demo. The purpose of the demo is to show you how an employee can take advantage of indoor map for daily tasks with the WSD. So I will share my screen. I guess you see my screen. So we will start from the employee portal. So the employee center is here. So in the Employee Center portal, we have the workplace menu, and we can start here to use workplace service delivery. So let's go to workplace service delivery. So the first task I want to perform is I'd like to, as an employee, I'd like to reserve a desk to go to the office. So there are different ways to do it. And of course, I want to do it using a map-based interface. So I start a new general reservation. So if you are familiar with WSD, usually you have a card view of resources. So you just have to ask the kind of resource you want. So in my case here, I'd like to book a desk. So I will choose a desk, and I'm interested to have a desk in the London campus, so EMEA, in the building A, for instance. So I choose a desk. I choose this building, so I can choose the campus, the region, the campus, and then the building, so building A in the UK campus. And I'd like to book a desk for today, let's say all day. Building A, EMEA, UK, building A. So here we are, all day, a desk. So instead of using the card view or the schedule view, I can use the map view. So the map view will show me the campus. So this campus has several buildings. And since I ask for the building A, I see the map of building A. So here's the screen. So here I ask for a desk in this building, and the map below it shows me this building. So second floor, but I can change the floor if I like. It's possible to start from floor 1, for instance. And here you can see resources. Some resources are in green because I can book them. It's possible to reserve them, and others are not. Since I ask for a desk, I see only the desk I'm entitled to reserve. If I ask for a conference room, the map is not the same. The building is the same, but not the map. And here I'm available to book meeting rooms. You can see meeting rooms in green, and desks are not possible to. I can't. Here I'm not entitled to book a desk because I ask for meeting conference rooms. And the same, that's the same. We have different kind of desk, and I could ask a desk for an IT employee and so on. So let's start with the desk, the standard desk in floor number 1 in building A. So let's say I'm interested to book that desk. So I just have to click on the desk. So it is available. I just want this desk, and I ask it for the whole day. So I add it, and I click next. So the map, in that case, the map is used to select the resource. You can do, it's also possible to use a card view to reach the desk and then reach this screen. The map is just a possibility to select the resource. Of course, it's easier to use the map because you can choose the position you want within the building. So I can give a subject if I want. So I will reserve it for, let's say, Abraham Lincoln. And if I want, I can ask extra services. So I submit my reservation. And now my reservation is confirmed. So if I go back to the main screen, I want to reserve a desk. Normally, if I enter the building, I can see my desk is not available anymore because it is reserved, it is booked. So you can see we are able to display the content of the building, and this map are the layer with dynamic data. So we have the walls, we have the desk, we have the meeting rooms, and we also are able to change the color of resources depending on the live status of those resources, whether they are meeting rooms, desktops, or any kind of resource. So now I have a desk for the day, and I'd like to book a meeting room because I have meetings with colleagues, and I need a meeting room. So I go back to the screen, this screen, and this time I want a room, a meeting room. I'm interested in a meeting room, and I'd like to select a meeting room right from the map. So it works the same, and just for the purpose of the demo, I'd like to change and to ask for a meeting room in the same building, but not the same floor. So let's say second floor, and maybe Jellyfish could be good. So I'd like to book the Jellyfish meeting room. So it works the same way that for a desk. I just have to add the meeting room, the Jellyfish meeting room, and I select it. Oh. Just, sorry, my bad. Jellyfish is here. Yeah, version details. Oh, maybe I should change that. No. second floor. Yeah, here we are. I think there's a glitch here. Yeah, we're good. I'd like to book it for Lincoln. Here we are. So if I go back to the main screen, and if I ask for a meeting room in the second floor, I can see the jellyfish meeting room is not available anymore because it is just booked. It was just booked. Then I want to show you, after we have a desk, we booked a meeting room. I'd like to show you how to use the map when we want to raise an issue, to raise an inquiry. So we'll start from the map. So let's say we have a water leak in a meeting room close to my desk, and I want to raise an inquiry to tell the maintenance we have a problem. So first floor. So my desk is this one, and let's. So I select this meeting room, and I want to tell the maintenance department there is a water leak in this meeting room. So there is a button here. So I select the resource right on the map, and then I click on Raise an Issue. So then I reach the Submit General Request form, but that form is already filled. A part of the form is already filled with location informations because I come from the map. Another possibility would be to click on Submit a General Request, reach that screen, and then click on this link to go to the map and click on the resource related to the problem. So water leak. Something is broken. It's not related to an existing reservation, and that's it. Miss something. Ah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Here we are. So we booked a desk, then we booked a meeting room, and then we raised an issue to tell the maintenance department there is a water leak in another meeting room. Now I'd like to show you a feature which is not an extension of existing features, because booking a meeting room or desktop was already possible. We added the map as an extension of those features, but there is a brand new feature which is specific to indoor mapping, and that feature is called wayfinding. So the wayfinding, we have a wayfinding engine able to compute the shortest direction between between a source and a destination within the building. So I propose to show you that from my desk, my current desk, to the meeting room. So I booked a meeting room, and I'd like to know the shortest path between the meeting room and my desk. So this feature is hosted by the location directory. So we have to go to the location directory. You already went there to raise the inquiry. So we go to the EMEA campus, building A. And here, we start from the meeting room. So the meeting room is the jellyfish meeting room. And so here we are. Instead of, I don't click on raise an issue. That's not my purpose here. The purpose is to get a direction to the jellyfish meeting room. So the destination is the jellyfish meeting room, and the starting point will be, let's say, my desk, which is A2 595. Oh, maybe I'll select. Sometimes it starts from floor 1. Yeah. So the starting point is my desk, and the destination is jellyfish. So this case is very interesting because you can see it's a direction between 2 floors. It also works if we have direction across several buildings in within the same campus, of course. And you can see we have a direction here. Then we go upstairs to floor number 2 using a stairway here. And then we reach the jellyfish meeting room. That's the way it works. The problem here is possibly the usage of a stair. The stairway is not accessible. So it's possible to ask the engine to compute another direction, not necessarily the shortest direction, because the shortest is this one, but a direction suitable for someone, let's say, in a wheelchair or something like that. So you just have to click on accessible, and then instead of this itinerary, this direction, 63 meters, it's possible to have another one using an elevator. So depending on the mode you ask, it's possible to have different directions. So this one is based on an elevator, and this one is based on a stairway. So those features are available, of course, from the Employee Center, but you can also use them from a mobile application. So I will show you how to compute the direction and use the wayfinding feature from a mobile application, and not only from the Employee Center. So I will share my iPhone.
Perhaps before going into the mobile detail, maybe reminding people as of when these features are made available and what family releases are needed to be able to access the features that you've been mentioning. There's been a few questions in the chat, so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that indoor mapping was released in May. The features that Medwick has just run through are not specifically for Tokyo. They can be run on San Diego or even Rome. What needs to be updated for some of the features is actually the indoor mapping and workplace indoor mapping plugins, which is in the store. And then currently the only item that Medwick will mention here with the mobile wayfinding is that it has a dependency on the Tokyo family release.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So I guess you see my smartphone. So this is the ServiceNow app. Here I can see my reservations. So here my jellyfish reservation. Maybe I have an internet access issue. Oh, yeah. Restart it. Sorry. Yeah, here we are. My reservation, my 2-day reservation. Yeah. So here we have a button, which is the Get Directions button. I can click on it. So here we have a full screen experience with the map. So it's very, very fluid and easy to navigate. You can change, you can rotate the screen, you can change the angle of the view. So it's super easy, and we provide a very, very nice mobile experience when it comes to indoor mapping. So here we have the jellyfish meeting room, and I can ask a direction. So the start direction will be on floor number 1 in my desk. And here is the shortest direction, the one with the stairway from my desk to the stair, and then to the jellyfish meeting room. Here too, it's possible to ask to change the route, the rules. So if I ask for an accessible route, so you can see the same route, but with a mobile experience this time. And this route is based on an elevator. Then we have a feature which is only available on mobile. We also provide step-by-step instructions. If you want directions, it's possible to have step-by-step instructions. Turn right, turn left, use the elevator, and so on. So those step-by-step instructions are available only because they are relevant only on the mobile interface. You can't have them in the portal because it's not relevant to provide this kind of information. We don't move with the laptop in hand, so it's available only on the mobile, but it's very useful. So that was the first part. So I showed you the different features an employee can use from the employee center and from the mobile application. So I'll go back to the web interface. I guess you see my screen again. And I will go to the studio. So the studio is the one-stop shop place to manage your floor plans. That's the place to import your existing floor plans, like it was explained by my colleague in the previous seminar. So you can take your CAD files or your raster files, and then you can import them into the studio. And the studio is a very, very complex tool that allows you to transform your floor plans into nice interactive maps that can be used from WSD. The purpose of the studio is to create your campuses and to import your floor plans and create your buildings and decide which kind of data you want to extract from your AutoCAD files, and then from those data to create interactive maps, nice interactive maps that can be displayed from the mobile or from the employee center in WSD. So here I can see my campuses. So let's go to the London campus. So you can see the same campus. So my campus has two buildings, building A and building B. So I can enter building A, for instance. I can see the resources. I can change the floors, floor 1, floor 2. I can do the same for building B. So I can navigate within the buildings, and you can edit your campus parameters. You can create buildings. You can import floors. You can edit the places from the studio. So if you want to merge a meeting room, or if you want to remove a printer, or let's say even a fire extinguisher, it can be done very easily from here. You just have to select the resource and then to edit it. There are different ways to do that. You can re-import the CAD files. You can do that manually. It depends on the way you want. Once you have imported your CAD files or your raster files, the building is available in the studio. But there is one more step before publishing your building into WSD. And that step is the view step. So you imported your CAD files. So within the CAD file, you probably have meeting rooms, desktops, printers, fire extinguishers, you name it. And once it's done, you have to decide which data you want to display on the map in WSD and how to display those data. And in order to do that, we have the view editor. The purpose of the view editor is to create views. So for now, we use only one view, the main view, the main WSD view, and we have to decide what to put inside that view. So you can decide to display every data available on the map, but it's also possible to decide not to display, let's say, a floor. You can remove a floor, or you can remove some kind of specific kind of resource. So here you can add or remove content. So when you create a view, you decide, for instance, not to import building B. It's possible. You don't want, because maybe it's not open yet. Or maybe floor number 2 is not available. So you remove floor number 2. Then once it's done, you have to choose the layers. So the building, i.e. the walls, the doors, the furnitures, but it's possible to have a view without furnitures if you want, and so on. So you choose the details. Then you decide the kind of places you want to display. Do you want to display auditoriums, desks? Of course, we are interested in desks because we use the map to book desks, but it's possible to remove and to decide very specifically what you want to display and what you don't want to display. Then the connectors. So basically we call connectors any way to move from one floor to another. So it could be an elevator, an escalator, a ramp, a stair. We have different kind of connectors. Then you can decide to activate or not to activate different direction modes, the default one and the accessible one. And then you have to save it. So this step is basically about deciding the kind of resource you want to import into the view. That's the first step. Then you have to decide how you want to display those resources. So basically we have the building, and you can change the way the building is displayed, the icon of the building, where is a marker, the default floor when you enter the building, and so on. That's the same for layers. So let's say we have doors and we want to use a specific color for doors. It's possible to change the color here. So you decide what you want to take and what you want to drop. And then for every element you selected, you have to decide the way it is displayed on the map. So let's take an example. For places, a desk. So a desk has this icon. So if you want to change it, it's possible. It's also possible to change the color, the stroke, the opacity, and so on. So many things can be changed. Of course, we propose default value for that, but if you want to use your own colors, if you have a specific look and feel for your company or your organization, it's possible. So you decide what you want to take and what you want to drop, and then you decide the way you want to display those resources on the map. Once it's done, you just have to push the Save This View button, and we are ready. We are almost ready because there is still one more step. But here we have imported floor plans. Those CAD files are now available as an interactive map. You decided the elements you wanted to take or drop. You decided the want you wanted them to be displayed, and then you save it. The last step is to synchronize WSD spaces with indoor maps. So that part is not done from the studio because it's, in fact, it's a WSD task. It has to be done from WSD. So to do so, we will leave the studio and we will go to the campus view. So here is a list of the campuses we have. So let's go to the EMEA campus, the London campus. We have the right view. And here, it's already done here, but I will tell you what to do the first time you reach this screen. For every campus, you have to tell the system which time zone has to be used for the campus. So the time zone is GMT, the British one, and then you have to bind the WSD campus you have with the indoor mapping campus. And the final task is to select the buildings you have and to tell WSD to synchronize the spaces you have in WSD along with the resources on the map. And this is done by a specific instruction, which is the get buildings instruction available here. So it was already done here, so I won't push the button, but that's basically the way it works. So the last step is to create the view you want to have, and then you go to the campus editor here, and you bind the campus with the time zone, you bind your WSD campus with your indoor mapping campus, and you tell the system to synchronize the spaces you have in WSD with the indoor map. And this is done by the get buildings instruction. Oh, I know we already have resources to show you.
Yeah, maybe before getting to that part of sharing the resources, there's a few questions in the chat, mainly on Map Studio and understanding how do we compute the location of a building. So you showed the part of how we import the floor plans, how we create the view, but the question here, if I understand it correctly, is understanding how do we position the building firstly on the map? So on the world map, how can we exactly land on the space where the building should be?
This is done. We already answered that question in the first webinar about the Map Studio. In fact, we have a worldwide map, and when you create a campus, you have to enter a postal address, and that's the way we use to locate a campus and a building, and we use an outdoor map.
Perfect.
So if I go to, reshare my screen to be more specific, maybe. So when I go to the studio, you can see here, you can see an outdoor map. Here it's a London map. And in fact, when you create a campus, here you have an instruction, a specific instruction to create a campus. You have to select a country, you give it a name, and then an address. And that's the way we use to locate a campus. You have to provide a postal address. It's not the same for buildings within a campus. It works the same.
Great question that's just come in about the reservation management. I think this question should be answered by Gaurav, who's kind of the expert of this topic. If you don't mind coming and sharing some feedback and some guidance on the question that's just come in.
Hey, thanks, Casey, for the question. And if we could let Casey come off mute, if you're comfortable to, elaborate on the question live. Thank you.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can, thank you.
Okay. So yeah, we actually just went live with reservation management, and right now what we're doing is once we get a request saying, hey, we need to add these spaces, we create them in ServiceNow, but then we also send that room information over to our Exchange team so that they can set up the resources for those rooms in Exchange. That way we know whether or not the meeting can be confirmed or not. And so that's why I was curious, when you get to that point of importing data from Map Studio for use in WSD, is that data live right away then in reservation management, or is there an extra step that's needed before they're actually selectable in the room lists?
Mm-hmm. So the answer is twofold, essentially. So the WSD data and indoor mapping data, they're two parallel data structures. And the step that Mederick just indicated is essentially either linking the indoor mapping room over to that in WSD, or if a room equivalent room does not exist in WSD, then when you do that campus to campus linking, a new room or space or any other resource is created in the WSD side of things and linked to the indoor map. So that's one. If it is an existing room that's, if it already existed in WSD prior to linking with indoor mapping data, in that case, it's just a reference field to the indoor mapping location that's created. So whatever rules that you had, if it was reservable or if it was inactive or whatever else, that will be honored. It's just that reference field will be populated. If it's a new room that gets created as a part of the indoor mapping studio, let's say the room did not exist in WSD previously, it got added to the map and then it got created, that record got created. In that case, the is reservable flag for that room will not be checked. So there is a manual activity, not manual, but rather a configuration activity that you need to go and do to set that is reservable true. So that is where you can have that room created in WSD, but it will sit as not reservable. And then once you have the email address commissioned for that room, you can turn it on and have users book that room. But at the same time, since it is on the map, users can see that room as something that is not reservable. Does that help?
Yep, that's very helpful. Thank you.
No problem. And additional point that might be useful for your use case is how these rooms get linked. So that is through the name field. So the WSD name and the indoor mapping name, not the title, the indoor mapping name need to be an exact match. So that's how WSD and indoor mapping connect. So when I say exact maps, we are talking, the campus names can be different, but starting from the floor, the building, and the space, the names need to be an exact match for indoor mapping to not create new records in either of those tables.
Perfect. Thank you, Goa, for sharing that. If there aren't any other questions, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen to show you the content that's available out. So these are the different items that are present on community to help you understand what the entire indoor mapping project could look like, the different terminology that's used, because there's specific wording within Map Studio and within the different calls that you'll be able to have. There'll be quite a few new terms. There's also some guidance on how to actually use all the different functionalities that are within the Map Studio. And then two other important documents, which are the CAD guidelines and the raster files. So a raster file is just a PNG, a flat file, and these two guidelines will help you understand how is the best way to get your floor plans to have the right the right conditions to be able to be easily imported into the studio, for the configuration to be done much easier, and to have all the items that you want to have on your map and that you expect users to be able to see. And then finally, there's just the part that Gaurav was mentioning, which is one of the most important parts, is understanding how you can move all the information that you've created in Map Studio into your WSD configuration to be able to use all the different items that Mederic showed regarding the location directory, reservation management, move management, and all those good items. So all these you'll be able to find in the deck, but of course you'll be able also, I believe they've been shared in the chat, but you can also go ahead and find them in the Workplace Service Delivery community page. So that is it from me. If we do have any last questions or any items that are not clear to you or that you would like clarification on, you can always reach out to any of us on the team to get more detailed information on some of these items. Or if you do start gaining interest in understanding how indoor mapping works and want to start implementing it and have setbacks or any questions on specific topics, please do not hesitate to reach out. We're more than excited to hear that you're starting to use indoor mapping and would love to help you out on these topics.